So, by the way, I would like to introduce Dani Das. He is from USA.
Hare Krishna.
And she is Maya. She is from, she is living now in Indonesia. But she is originally Russian. Yeah, she is also Russian. So, they are our inpatients here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What part of
So
USA?
she is from Canada.
What part of USA?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Saffron, I travel.
Ciao.
And you? Where?
New York.
New York?
He is
Ah.
New York and he is from
Last day I'm staying in
Russia.
Poughkeepsie. And you're from where?
Russia.
Canada.
Russia. Yeah.
Russia.
Russia?
Yes.
Belarus.
Okay.
And they are from Armenia.
Armenia.
And
Yeah.
he is also from Russia. So, you know, mix
International.
up of all.
It's your client from another
Clinic?
Yeah, they are staying there.
From there.
Udupi.
I see.
Okay, welcome you all to this small lecture. Now, in this class, I would like to cover the basics of Ayurveda with some glimpse of what Pancha-karma is. Because Ayurveda is a broad science. Ayurveda is a broad science which cannot be completed in 1 or 2 hours, which may, to cover up the whole of Ayurveda, we may need at least 6 to 7 hours of time. Now, Ayurveda is basically the knowledge. When we say Ayurveda, it's about the Ayurveda which is in the form of books now. There are few important books which were written after the Vedic period. They are Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga Sangraha, Ashtanga Hridaya. Actually, the list goes still further. But these are the important books the present day Ayurveda is based on, especially 3 books. These are called Brihat Trai. Brihat means big, Trai means 3. Okay, 3 main books of Ayurveda. Whatever I talk, they are based on these 3 books. Now, prior to these books, there existed lot of knowledge which were not written form, but passed on by Guru to the disciple, in the Guru Shishya Parampara. So, they used to by heart the shlokas, and they were able to recite 1 lakh shlokas. 1 lakh. Okay, just by the brain. But after the Vedic period, there was degeneration in the mental capacity of the people, and slowly they had to write in the form of books so that people remember. Now these books, Charaka Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga Hridaya, Ashtanga Sangraha, they are very unique in their own way. During the time of the Vedas or after the Vedic period, there existed 2 important branches of Ayurveda, which one branch is mainly dealing with the medicine, okay, which was called as Atreya Sampradaya, and the second one is known as Dhanvantari Sampradaya.
What years do you consider the Vedic period?
Pardon?
What is the Vedic period?
Difficult to say.
Before Kali Yuga?
Yeah, you can take like that.
Before Krishna? Okay.
After
After
the
Krishna.
Krishna, Dwapara Yuga. I think, at least, because it's all speculation. Whatever we say, it's speculation.
Our tradition teaches 5,000 years ago, Kali Yuga began.
Yeah.
At the end of
probably
Dwapara Yuga.
at the beginning of the Kali Yuga. Okay. But as Kali Yuga advanced, I think we see the degeneration in the dharma. Now, this Atreya Sampradaya, as you know, Atreya Punarvasu was the boss of that Sampradaya who inherited that, treating the diseases with medicines or herbs or Pancha-karma methods. That was the specialty of Atreya Sampradaya. Whereas the Dhanvantari Sampradaya was also conducting orthopedic, surgical plus medicinal therapies. Management of fractures, management of war injuries like nose cut, ear cut, or injuries, fractures, along with treatment of different diseases. That is the specialty of Dhanvantari Sampradaya. In a way, you can call this as surgeons plus medicine, and this is purely medicine. When this knowledge was written in the form of books, they found out that a single person was unable to master all these branches of Ayurveda, which during that time existed in the form of 8 branches. That is why, like Ashtanga Yoga, here we call Ashtanga Ayurveda. Ashta, 8, Anga means branches. They are Kaya Chikitsa or medicine, Bala Chikitsa or pediatrics, treatment of the children up to the age of 14. Shall I write that? Kaya, or you can call it as medicine. Treatment of cough, fever, vomiting, loose motion, like that. Bala means children, pediatrics. So Graha means not the planets. No, not the planets. They are the entities which exist around us in a non-physical form. They don't have body like us, but they can influence your state of health. For example, Gandharva, Yaksha, Pishacha, all that. They are the subtle bodies which enter the body like how the light enters the prism. The prism, the light enters. Similarly, those can enter your body when you are physically and mentally weak condition. So treatment of such entities, that is called Graha Chikitsa. I can't exactly correlate the word Graha in English. Okay. To some extent, we can consider the psychiatric treatment also comes under this.
Exorcism.
Would it be negative influences?
Yes, negative influences. Because in Ayurveda, when they explain the psychiatric disorders, they classify it under two main headings. One, the psychiatric disorders, which is called Unmada. Unmada, they correlate it to schizophrenia, but I don't agree with that. All mental disorders come under the name Unmada. So, those Unmada are of two types. One, because of the Vata, Pitta, Kapha abnormality, one can have Unmada. The other is because of these entities like Gandharva, Yaksha, Pitra, Rakshasa, they enter the body and produce psychiatric disorders. So to treating those kinds of entities come under Graha Chikitsa. Urdhva anga means, above the neck. ENT and ophthalmology. Treatment of the eye disorders, treatment of the nose, ear and throat. That's called Urdhvanga Chikitsa. Shalya surgery. Shalya surgery, the surgery of like nasal polyps, then cut injuries, fractures. Damstra or agada. Damstra means like bites, animal bites, poisonous snake bite, poisonous spiders, poisonous different types of insect bites. Treatment of those, toxicology. Not only that, how to remove the poisons which are ingested by mistake or purposefully. Mercury, arsenic, different kinds of metal poisons, organophosphorus poisons. The seventh is the Jara or the geriatrics, age-related problems. How to treat age-related issues. They are called Jara Chikitsa or Rasayana Chikitsa. The last one is Vrisha Chikitsa, treatment of infertility. In the olden days, if someone doesn't have a child, it was like a social enigma. So that is why even the Raja, if he doesn't have the children, then who is looking after the kingdom. So for that purpose, this was developed to have the offspring. Treatment of infertility. So these Ashtangas, people in the olden days, there was one person who was a master in everything. But later, after the Vedic period, they were not able to master all subjects. That is why, like branches were developed, and books were written based on the individual specialities.
The books that you had on the board before, they cover all of those subjects?
Pardon?
The books that you had up there in the
Yes.
Sampradaya,
These
they
books-
cover all of those,
Yes,
and
yes.
then they were later broken down?
Yeah. These three books, they cover almost all the subjects. But after that, the books were written. For example, in the 16th century, a Vaidya called Madhavakara wrote a book called Madhavanidana. So that Madhavanidana explains only about diagnosis, nothing else. It's only about diagnosis. What is the action of the doshas on this dhatu, that dhatu, and how the disease is produced. There is another book called Bhava Prakasha Nigantu, which only talks about the plants, nothing else. Okay, that one part. That another part in Bhava Prakasha Nigantu has two parts. One part talks about only the plants. The other part talks about the diagnosis and the treatment of the diseases. So like that, the books started to be written based on the speciality. Now also you see, now it is an age of speciality. In one part the person gets expertise. In a way it is good that if you go to that person you will get the full knowledge of that branch. But unfortunately nowadays what is happening, for one person he has to depend on maybe 10 people or maybe more.
No generalist.
Yeah, no generalist. Now let us see the basic principles of Ayurveda. It is called Tridosha Siddhanta. Three dosha. Three is three. Dosha means, dosha is the name given to the qualities in your body which when undergoes a change can produce the disease. These are only the qualities. If you ask me, show me what is Vata, show me Pitta, Kapha, it is difficult to show. But you can feel it. Like how you feel the sunlight, the heat you can feel. Correct? So similarly, when Pitta is aggravated, you can feel the heat inside. You can understand that Pitta has aggravated. When you feel cold, is it too fast? Should I stop? Okay. So these doshas are the qualities exist in our body and outside our body. They are three in number: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Now, those who studied the Indian science, or those when you come in touch with the spiritual science, you know that the whole existence is created by the five basic elements, right? Ether, or we call Akasha. Akasha and Vayu, now, Akasha pervades the whole existence. Beyond the earth, beyond the sun, beyond the galaxies, there exists only one thing. It is called Akasha or space. Vayu is limited. Vayu you can feel, and Vayu is the one of the Pancha Mahabhuta, which is also responsible for our respiration. Fire and water. Why I wrote in front is when Akasha and Vayu combine, it produces Vata. When fire and water combine, it produced Pitta. When water and earth combine, it produced Kapha. So these 5 elements have certain qualities. Earth. You take a piece of stone, okay? It has weight. So the nature of kapha is heavy. It produces heaviness. If you imagine you take a good one full of yogurt or ice cream, okay? So what do you feel? You feel satisfied. You feel happy, you feel little like drowsy. That is the nature of kapha. When the earth element is there, you always feel grounded. When Vayu is there, you start moving. If it affects your mind, the mind starts moving. Okay? Whereas the fire creates heat. Water, fluid, water is actually cooling. So like that, every Pancha Mahabhuta has certain qualities, and when these two combine, the qualities of both exist in Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Just like Vata, Pitta, Kapha are there in our body, there are 7 tissues or called Sapta Dhatus.
What does dhatus mean?
Tissues from which our body is made up of. We look solid because of these 7 tissues. You see, in the modern science, it classifies the different tissues based on certain criteria, based on the type of cells. Okay, this is connective tissue, this is reproductive tissue, this is bones, these are muscles, like that. But in Ayurveda, it looks from a different angle. The first dhatu is called rasa. Rasa is the liquid portion of the blood, or the fluid portion which exists in your blood and also within the cell and outside the cell. That is rasa. You know, the blood is made up of around 80% water. So that water portion, apart from the red blood cells, platelets, there are different solid components. The liquid component, you can call it as plasma, simply plasma. Rakta is of red color, and the red blood cells, the white blood cells, platelets, the different cells within the blood is called Rakta Dhatu. So that means the blood, what we say in the modern term, has both together. Mamsa is muscle tissue. So Meda is the adipose tissue which exists with your muscles. Asti is the bone. Majja is bone marrow plus also the brain. Shukra, reproductive tissue. So the many times Shukra they call it's a sperm. No, it is not sperm. From which the sperm and eggs in females are made out of.
Where's the organs? Organs. That's all the separate. There's
Yeah. The organs, they are classified as kosta. Okay, kosta, and the dhatus always exist. For example, the liver. Okay, liver is called pittashaya, means the place where the pitta is produced. Pancreas, okay, called agnyashaya. It is where the pancreatic, again pitta is produced. So the pancreas and these are called the pitta ashayas. Okay, they also come under the dhatus only. But this is just for the understanding. They have classified it in a different way. Like for the kidneys, they call vrittashaya. Okay, where the urine is produced.
What is produced? Sorry. Doctor, what is produced in Pancha?
Then there are malas. Okay, now we saw dhatus, doshas first, then dhatus, and the next is the mala. Mala, including the ashayas, where the stool is produced, urine is produced, sweat is produced, and all the excretory waste products, they are called mala. So the nourishment and the excretion coexist in our body. You can't separate these two. from one side continuously the nourishment is going on, and the other side the waste materials are excreted out of your body. From birth to the death, every day in our body, the doshas, dhatus or malas are produced continuously in a cyclical manner. Now these changes, you see, from morning to the evening, from night to the next morning, in the nature, if you observe very clearly, everything changes. It is not constant. Now these changes has an influence on the Vata Pitta Kapha. So, if you divide the whole 24 hours into two parts, the day and the night, of course in your country it may not be so, but if you take an average, definitely it will be, if you average it out from throughout the year, then it can be almost like half. Now, the doshic variations happen throughout the day and throughout the night. In the morning, after the sunrise, till around 4 hours. I don't say exactly 4 hours because it depends on the number of hours in the daytime. If you divide the day into 3 parts, the first 1/3 kapha dominant. This is kapha. This is pitta and this is vata. That means the qualities of kapha in our body increases in the first 4 hours of the day. The qualities of pitta increase in the mid part of the day, and qualities of vata increase in the last 1/3 of the day. Similarly, when it is night, again the kapha quality increases here, pitta increases here, and vata increases here. So this cycle goes on throughout the year. Sometimes during the winter, the kapha period can be more. During the summer, the pitta period can be more. Okay. During very chilly, windy winter, the vata period can be more. In other words, the nature exerts a pitta, kapha or vata effect on your body. Now what we do? When you are very cold, what you do? You try to cover. What are you doing? You are trying to counteract the cold nature of the vata by covering a blanket. What the blanket will do? It will not allow your body heat to go outside. Right? Even if you don't wear the blanket, your body will, there is a group of muscles below the skin. They become tightened And in the winter, you don't sweat, right? You don't sweat because your body doesn't want to waste energy. And also, what your body will do? Your body will increase the production of thyroxine during winter. Why? To keep your body warm. You need more fuel to keep your body warm. Imagine you are not in a heater situation. If you are going outside in the nature, if your body is exposed, you are going a hike in a mountain. Now, one is you cover your body, still you feel the effect of the cold. Your body makes it warm from inside, and also you feel more hungry. In the winter, you are supposed to be more hungry if your body is exposed, because the body needs more fuel to keep the warmth. That means the nature's effect cannot be escaped by anyone. It is going to produce a beneficial or positive or negative effect on your body. This is what we call as the interaction of the dosha and the dhatu. Dhatus are within your body, doshas are within our body, and also there is dosha outside. For example, the wind, you can call it as vata. The sun, you can call it as pitta. The water, you can call it as kapha. Or the effect of the moon, you can call as kapha. How you feel when you are lying on a beach, maybe in a full moon day? How you feel?
Warm, probably.
Beautiful, right? Like, you feel very cool, you feel very grounded, because the moon produces a kapha effect on your body. How do you feel when you are sitting in the hot sun, right? Sweating. So sun produces a pitta increasing effect in your body. When there is a windy, cold wind, you feel chill. So the cold wind produces a vata increasing effect on your body. So the nature has its own way of producing vata, pitta, kapha imbalance in our body. But your body, for your body, it is a stress. Now, your body knows, because the God has given us the inborn intelligence in every cell to counteract the negative effects of the outside world. Now, your body reacts to it with a boundary, within a boundary. Means it has certain ability to react. This is a natural boundary within which every day, every year we go through. I can simply explain it by giving. Imagine this is a hill. Okay. Now you have a car. This car is going in this and climbing and going like this. Okay. Your car is able to go through the hill and the difficult pathway. Your car can climb only to some extent, beyond which it cannot, right? if there is a very steep hill, the car is not able to go up. Similarly, your body has the ability to counteract certain level of these vata, pitta, kapha changes from the outside world. Beyond certain point, it fails to respond. It is not able to. I can also give another example. You take a rubber band, okay, rubber band, you stretch it and just leave it, right? When you stretch it, it comes to some extent, and when you leave it, it goes back into its own position. So this is our inborn ability to counteract the stresses coming from the outside world. Now imagine I am stretching it too much. What will happen? It will break. When it breaks, it cannot come back to its original position. So, the level of pull where it breaks, I call disease. So that means in a way, every time, every moment, we can become diseased or we tend to become diseased, but because your body has an inbuilt intelligence, it doesn't allow that to happen. Now I apply that to the same knowledge, here. So morning, imagine you are in a very cold country, maybe Russia or in Canada, okay? And in the morning, you drink a cup of milk, right? Already it's cold. Now you go to the fridge and take cup of milk or cup of yogurt, which is cold. So because of the outside world, your body naturally is producing more kapha in that winter. And now you took yogurt, and with that you took another milk sweet, okay? And later you took an ice cream. Now when these three things adds up, maybe you may catch a cold. Within like noon, you start like having runny nose, sneezing, or heaviness in the head, or you feel sleepy because the stomach is heavy. Now, Ayurveda says, from the time you took the kapha increasing food like yogurt or ice cream or milk, till the disease is produced, the body goes through different stages of vata, pitta, kapha abnormality. This is explained under 6 headings called Kriyakalas. Kriyakalas means the time when a Vaidya has to interfere
Could you repeat once more?
to stop the progression of the disease. They are called 6 Kriyakalas. Kriya means action. This is the time to take action. Kalas means stage. Kala means the time. I don't want to go into very details, but in a nutshell I will say they are said as
Is it like a stage of disease? Is it like stage of disease?
yeah, stages. Stages starting from the dosha abnormality up to the manifestation of the disease. Now, sanchaya means accumulation. Okay. So here, naturally, I told you the rubber band example. Your body is able to tolerate certain amount of accumulation or prakopa throughout the year. Morning, the kapha increased, and then pitta increased, vata increased. Imagine you are eating very hot, spicy food in the pitta time. Okay. Along with that, you are working out in the sports field. You are sweating it out. Maybe you are playing a football. Now, when you are playing a football, you also take some spicy food. Now, by nature, it is known, it already increased in your body. On top of that, you are playing, pitta increased. On top of that, you ate a spicy Mexican dish, Mexican chili, food.
Indian food.
Now, you are bound to have gastritis. The body shows up because the body cannot tolerate too much of stimulation. Now, if you classify this, imagine a person who hasn't used spicy food. So, for him, the pitta can be too much here, okay, because it is new. But imagine someone who is used to that regularly, like our laborers, laborers, they work in the hot summer. We can't work, but they can work because their body is trained to work. So when such training has been given, the body's ability to tolerate the stress increases. They can tolerate more. For example, the Himalaya, when they climb the Mount Everest, there are Sherpas. Sherpa means, the Nepalese, that who carry the luggage. We like people, we need oxygen mask, but they don't need. They can come without oxygen mask because their body is used to that. The body has a tremendous ability to adapt. Now, this question comes when your body doesn't have much time to adapt to the new stress what is caused from outside, then the body reacts in a different way. When we are healthy, the body's reaction are much more in equilibrium. Whereas when you are under stress, when the vata, pitta, kapha are not in normal state, then your reaction is abnormal. Now here, Ayurveda says, during the winter, kapha accumulates in your body. And during the spring, the kapha undergoes prakopa. Prakopa means it changes its, because the cold started coming down and there is sunlight, and because of the sunlight, the kapha starts melting in your body, and that state is known as prakopa. Similarly, in the summer, the hot summer, because of the dryness in the nature, vata accumulates. As soon as the rain comes, in India, I am talking about India, maybe in your country the weather may be different. After the summer comes the rain. When the rain comes, the vata undergoes prakopa, becomes abnormal. Similarly, after the rain, during the rain, the pitta, after the rain, the pitta accumulates, and before the winter, autumn, right? Autumn, pitta undergoes prakopa. So throughout the year, the vata, pitta, kapha are in a state of accumulation, prakopa, accumulation, prakopa, accumulation, prakopa. So this cycle naturally happens. Now, Ayurveda says, if you don't want these vata, pitta, kapha abnormalities to go into these states, you should do Pancha-karma. Before I explain the Pancha-karma, I want to explain a little bit of here. Now this accumulation, in our body, there are three gross places of vata, pitta, kapha dominance. They are called where the action of vata, pitta, kapha are seen. Above the diaphragm, diaphragm? Above the diaphragm is the place for kapha. Navel to the diaphragm, place for pitta. Liver, pancreas, spleen, duodenum, all metabolic activities, they are more concentrated here. Below the navel, even though you see only colon, reproductive organs, or uterus, or testes, all this part, the vata activity is more below the navel. So these are called Moolasthana, or home for vata, pitta, kapha. So I have a home, I go to Udupi, go around, but come back to home again. Similarly, the doshas which are produced in this area, they travel but come back, and they show their dominance in these areas. Now, when the doshas accumulate, accumulation means they accumulate in the respective areas. Kapha will accumulate here, pitta will accumulate here, vata will accumulate below. When prakopa happens, this also happens in the same organs. Kapha prakopa happens here, pitta prakopa happens here, and vata prakopa happens below the navel. Now, these two stages are the best stages for Pancha-karma. Now, when the body has these symptoms, we should interfere. That is why during spring, kapha becomes this stage, kapha prakopa, and you eliminate it by doing vamana. Autumn, pitta prakopa happens, you eliminate it by virechana. rainy season, that is in India, in South India, it is actually June or July. Vata and Basti. Now, if even a healthy person, if he is doing that regularly, or in other words, if he knows how to balance the Sanjaya and Prakopa, he will not have any disease which exists on this earth. He will not have any disease.
What if people travel and for example, they
When
start
we
from
don't,
the winter?
let me complete. When we don't treat it at this stage, slowly, it may progress into prasara, means spread. Spread to other parts. Now, in this state, the kapha moves to the pitta area, pitta can move to the kapha area, or pitta can move to the vata area, or vata can move to the pitta or kapha area, and they start mixing up together and produce little complex symptoms. Still you don't treat or we neglect. See, all this state your body will tell you. If you are aligned with your body, if your mind is aligned, then you start having some signs within. Still you neglect, it will lead to sthana samshaya, means the doshas which are moving within your body will get lodged at certain place and slowly start producing a disease there.
What do you mean by lost?
Базируются, остаются в каком-то...
So sometimes you may have acidity. Okay, the pitta has
Stuck.
increased here.
Stuck.
Now, if you neglect that pitta, slowly the pitta will move to the head area and lodge there and produce migraine. Okay, migraine symptoms, very mild headache you may get. Now still you neglect, you keep doing what you are doing. Now the stage comes vyakta, means vyakta is the state where disease manifests completely. And still you neglect, it will lead to complications. Bheda is, it leads to another disease. So you may have a permanent damage, or you may have a organ damage, or you may develop into several other diseases. For example, like stroke. What will happen if a person has stroke? Stroke has happened here. He will lose the mobility. He will lose the muscle tone or the motor power. And later, it is a permanent damage. He can't recover from it. So, this is the last stage. In case of cancer, no doctor are able to trace the cancer 100%. The most modern, what you call the scanning, PET scanning or maybe another type of scanning are not able to find out what is happening within your cell. They can only speculate. Once the size of the mass is maybe 1 centimeter or half a centimeter visible, the PET scanning machine is able to find out. But below that, it can't. During cancer, the cancer cells undergo all these stages, and finally at the Bheda stage, the metastasis happens, and because of that, either the person will have a permanent organ damage or he will die slowly. Now these two stages are the best stages for doing Pancha-karma. Pancha-karma can be applied even up to this stage, but the results may vary here. But the results are best when it is done in these two stages. That is why Pancha-karma has been applied as a normal routine for a healthy person. I believe this knowledge existed even in the villages. When I was studying my, house agency, housemanship after the Ayurveda 4.5 year course, 1 year we had to go to the villages, go to the hospitals, other hospitals. One day I saw the village people. I think it was around Deepavali time, Deepavali or Navaratri time, October. It is the autumn, Indian autumn time. And many people, because Mysore is a little cooler than here, I think October time, they had applied oil on the body and they covered woolen blankets and they were sitting under the sun. Not one person, few. I was curious, I asked, what are you doing, In the morning they were sitting around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And they said they have drunk castor oil. Castor oil.
Stunk?
They have a way of preparing the castor oil in their own way. And I asked them, why you are drinking castor oil? It is in our tradition. He said, it is in our tradition to drink the castor oil exactly during this time. Then when I searched, the books, yes, exactly. What they are doing is, they are doing Pancha-karma, but in a crude way, their own way. They never went to the doctor. They applied the oil and they drank the castor oil and they are sitting under the sun. So instead of this sauna, they are taking the natural sun. And to get the best effect, they are covering with a blanket. See, this knowledge existed there. And even, if you see a cat or a dog, do you know cat or a dog does Pancha-karma? When cat or dog, the stomach is upset, they can't put their finger and vomit, correct? If you see, they go and search some grass which has bristles in it and they eat the grass. See, dog or cat is, they are not supposed to eat grass, right? Meat is their food. But they go and eat this grass because when the grass actually, irritates the palate and it is easier to vomit. See, similarly, why I am telling is, see, this knowledge of Pancha-karma or knowledge of expulsion of the toxic materials, it is there built in within your body. For example, you went to a cake shop, you got a cake, he gave you some couple of days old cake which has fungus in it. Imagine by mistake we ate that cake. Now what will happen? What will happen? After a while, you start having some strange feeling in the stomach. Then you feel nausea, or you may have loose motion. We call food poisoning. Oh, food poisoning has happened. But now if you see what is happening, imagine there is bacteria in your cake. The bacteria produces some toxins and those toxins are recognized by your body. Now your body will tell, okay, this is something unwanted, let us throw it out, right? So you start vomiting, and the body wants to throw out through the mouth and also through anus, all two ways. Also, at the same time, the body will tell you not to eat, right? You don't feel like eating. When you are vomiting and when you have a food poisoning, do you feel like eating? Not really, you don't. So body will tell you something, but a fool will again try to eat again and have the toxic effects again and again. He will continue to vomit, he will continue to have loose motion. So body has a built-in knowledge to prevent the disease. The body's ability to heal is already there. The Pancha-karma will only create a stage of healing. That's all. When we are saying the accumulation, when we destroy the extra increase of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, now what we are doing is we are just clearing up what has grown extra. For example, like weed has grown. We just cut it, okay, and make it nicer. So it looks nice. Similarly, whatever has extra increased, you take it out. Whatever has decreased, you bring it to normal. Now, every person is born with a constitution. No two people are similar, right? This is because we have different prakritis or constitution.
This is a prakriti of the soul, or how it happens? Each life a different prakriti, or all the time the same?
Can you repeat? I didn't understand.
Guna karma. Guna karma, yeah? Guna and karma.
Yeah. Guna means the qualities. Karma means the actions which are done based on the guna. Okay. Now, the prakriti.
Prakriti means material nature.
Yeah, but soul, every birth in the body, soul has same, yes, same dosha.
No,
Dosha?
No,
No.
same.
different body, different.
What is your question?
In every birth, the soul will have the same constitution.
Yeah. Body with the same constitution or different?
Body?
This life and next life, the constitution will be the same.
No, here we are talking about this life, the prakriti is not related with the next life or this life. Okay, prakriti means from birth till death. The prakriti is related not with the soul. Prakriti is related with the physical body. Okay, so prakriti will decide how you look like, how you behave, how your skin, when you grow up, how you do. This is all the physical and the mental characters are decided by prakriti. You can say it's a genetic makeup with which you are born. See, we are born here because of the parents. When the father and the mother meet, the doshic changes what their body had, that combine together to produce prakriti. And the prakriti remains constant throughout life. See, prakriti will not change. Prakriti changes only when you are closer to death. Maybe a change in the prakriti is a bad omen. Prakriti is of 7 types: pure Vata, pure Pitta, pure Kapha. When I say pure, it means, see, every person will have Vata, Pitta, Kapha in their body. Now when I say pure, only vata characters dominate. When I say pitta, pitta characters dominate. The guna of vata dominate. The guna of pitta dominate. The guna of kapha dominate. When I say vata, pitta, kapha type. Now when I say vata pitta, pitta kapha and vata kapha type, that means you can see the characteristics of both vata and kapha in that person, or vata and pitta in that person equally. Vata, pitta, kapha, vata, pitta, pitta, kapha and vata kapha. Vata dominant, pitta dominant, kapha dominant. Vata pitta dominant, pitta kapha dominant, vata kapha dominant. Samadoshada. This is the best prakriti. This, if someone has this samadoshada prakriti, hardly ever he can become sick. It is like a divine gift.
All doshas in balance. Yeah?
Now, there is another word called Vikriti. So, Prakriti is your default healthy state. See, if you are in your Prakriti, you are healthy. You may look skinny, or you may look plumpy, you may look short, you may look very high, but according to that Prakriti, you are healthy. Now, Vikriti is a state where you have, from Prakriti, you have passed into a unhealthy state called Vikriti. So the duty of the Vaidya is to bring you from Vikriti to your Prakriti. That's all. Vaidya cannot change your Prakriti. Only he can bring from the illness to the Prakriti state. Now, the Vata Prakriti, the Ekadoshata Prakriti, it's a kind of little sick Prakriti. Means, those people tend to become sick with little bit of change in the weather, change in the food, change in living conditions. They tend to be sick quickly. Whereas the Kapha type of people, they tend to become sick very less. So Ekadosha, there are these are the different characters of the single dosha, dvidosha and samadosha prakritis. It is again another set of or you can explore it, and it's quite interesting exploring the prakriti.
How to understand Prakriti?
Which is the Prakriti?
Yeah.
How to understand what?
Recognize what is my Prakriti.
Now the
She's asking,
Pancha-karma, pardon?
she's asking how to understand one's nature.
Prakriti.
Vata, Pitta, Kapha.
No, don't worry too much, because it is like you are looking at your shadow and trying to change the shadow. Exactly like that. It's waste. Now this has become a fashion in the Western world. After Robert Saboda wrote a book called Prakriti, right? You would have read that book. And every person, looks at the tongue, looks at the hair. Oh, you are kapha, you are pitta, you are vata, I'll give you an example. Okay. I'll give you a kapha type of person or vata. Okay, take vata type of person. someone has assumed that, okay, I am a Vata person. Now, what he will do? By knowing that he is Vata. Okay? So he will apply oil, which is good for Vata, and he will take oil, which is good for Vata, and he will take maybe sweet something to counteract Vata, or he may adopt a diet, anti-Vata diet. Okay, this is now very popular. Anti-Vata, anti-Kapha, anti-Pitta diet. It will absolutely go into drains. It will not work. Because the outside world also exerts a change in the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and you can't really try to control the Vata, Pitta, Kapha movements by your food, by your, okay. The only way you can balance the Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the easiest way is to maintain a fantastic Agni.
Fantastic what?
Agni, the fire of digestion.
Oh, Agni.
This is like in Krishna consciousness, you depend on Krishna. You leave everything to Krishna and you surrender to Krishna. Let him do whatever he wants. Let him decide what you want to become, right? Surrender. So similarly, here you have to surrender to the Agni, Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is the divine force which metabolizes the food in your body, and your duty is to see only the proper Agni. If you know how to maintain Agni, no matter you are Vata type, Pitta type, Kapha type, whatever type, you stay healthy.
That's why all Indian eat hot.
Yeah, that is why if you bring Ayurveda from the complexity to the most simple form, I will say Ayurveda is all about eating when you are hungry. Like any other animal,
Yeah, the main rule, yeah.
you have to just listen to your body and eat whatever food is available. Because the prakritis change, the weathers change, but Agni will never change. Agni remains constant. From the birth till the death. If Agni stops, our life also stops. That is why when we die, the body temperature reduces. Because the Agni principle stopped working in your body. So that is why don't worry about Prakriti. Don't worry about the seasons. Of course, during this season you can eat this, you can eat this. See, defining a diet is very complex. Because imagine you came from New York, it's very cold there. Suddenly you entered the South Indian hot temperate climate. Now your body reacts to this weather, right? The first you experience jet lag. What is jet lag? Your body is trying to tune up its clock, the clock from New York to the clock of Udupi. It may take 2 or 3 days and your body adapts to this. Now there you may be wearing sweaters, all these jumpers, everything. But here you just go without any, on gamsha with that. Your body knows what to do. You just allow it to happen. But when you come from, New York to Udupi, you would have experienced that, the day when you landed in Udupi, you don't want to eat, you don't feel like, good appetite, your digestion may go wrong, or you may want to sleep in the daytime and you may wake up, but in 1 week time, everything comes to a halt, means, everything changes and you start sleeping at 9 o'clock and you wake up by 6 o'clock, and the jet lag is gone, your tiredness is gone, your Agni also appears normal. So this tremendous adaptivity what your body has, if it has to function, the Vata, Pitta, Kapha should be at a stage where your Prakriti is there. According to your Prakriti, that is your default state. Don't compare the X Prakriti to the Y Prakriti. We can't compare two Prakritis. Even the son or the daughter of the same mother, they will have different Prakriti.
Identical twins? Identical twins?
Yes, identical twins also. Physically different, mentally different. They may look like same, but the diseases what they encounter may be different. Their digestion capacity may be different.
How to maintain Agni?
Hmm?
How to maintain
How to?
good Agni?
How to
Maintain.
develop the Agni?
Yeah.
Maybe, do you have time?
To make
Another
puja.
half an hour? Can I speak another half an hour?
Sure.
Okay. Now, whether you do Pancha-karma or not, whether you follow Ayurveda or not, you should follow one thing, how to maintain the Agni. Okay. Now, even the modern research, I am listening for the last couple of years, the research done in America about the cellular biology, how mitochondria function, and what happens in cancer, about mitochondria, how the mitochondria die, and it's an amazing subject. The Agni, in a nutshell, if inside the cell, if I had to show what is Agni, I can say it is mitochondria. The mitochondria represents the Agni principle inside the cell. If you count the number of mitochondria within our body, it varies from the neurons to the liver. Numbers are different. But the maximum number of mitochondria are there in the liver, in the digestive organs. That means every cell has got Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but these are the areas where the Pitta is dominating. This is the area where Kapha is dominating. Now, to maintain the good Agni, you have to follow certain principles of eating. Now, they are called Bhojana Niyama, or see, amazingly, Ayurveda has never said someone you have to eat only this. They have given you a choice. Okay, there are something which is best, which are always giving you health, and apart from that, you can eat a lot, provided you know these Bhojana Niyamas. Bhojana means food, Niyama means the rules.
Niyama is what?
Правильно.
It's rules.
Bhajaniyama.
Bhojana Niyama.
Bhoja.
Yeah. Rules of diet, I should say. Don't imagine I am giving you a perfect diet. No doctor is possible to give you a perfect diet. You keep it written. No doctor will give you a perfect diet. Not possible. You should follow your own diet based on your experience. Few rules says the first rule, the first and the foremost, eat when you are hungry. In Sanskrit, they say bhuktam asniyat. Bhuktam means, bhuk means hunger. When you are superly hungry, you eat. Now, if you see, there are so many research done on this simple subject. And one devotee from America, Tejas Das, he sent me this from a Hawk Institute. After that, I did a lot of readings based on that, and I found out what they are saying perfectly makes sense, because they didn't know that this has been told in Ayurveda 3,000-4,000 years back. What they are saying after so many research exactly correlates with the same principle what Ayurveda has told. Eat when you are hungry. Your body, your stomach is not like a garbage where you put everything and then let it digest.
When you feel a little bit hungry, is it better to eat or to wait till very hungry?
Yeah, the question is, what is very hungry?
Even more hungry. Like little hungry, more hungry, more hungry, the most.
Now, see, the sensation of the hunger can vary from person to person based on their prakriti, based on the physical activities what they are doing. But everyone will feel hungry. It's only that whether you are listening to your body or not. Imagine you are driving a long drive. You have to reach 4 hours of drive. Now, when you are driving, your mind is on the road, right? And maybe you have 1 liter of water, and you just gulp the water and you drive. Now you have a destination, you want to reach that destination, and then you will think, oh, I will eat there. But the body will never think like that. When there is need for energy, you develop the hunger. That hunger starts, if I imagine, I can draw a line like this, graph. This is time, this is hunger. The sensation of the hunger. Morning 9 o'clock, 10, 11, 12. Now, you wake up at maybe 6 o'clock. After waking up, slowly your body starts metabolizing the energy, and the need for energy slowly arises. It doesn't arise all of a sudden. Slowly. Now by 9, 10, let us draw a graph like this. This rises slowly, hits a peak here. And then at this point, imagine you didn't take the food. You just drank water, 1 liter of water. Now that Agni will go down. Okay? Now it diminishes. But again, after some time, it creates another wave of hunger. Again. The body is telling you to eat. What is hunger? It's a desire to eat. Right? Produced by the mind and the body together. Now, this is the best time to eat. Now, how to decide the best time? There is no parameter. No parameter. If you are focused on your body, at this point of time, when there is superb hunger, you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to do anything else rather than eating. Because you will have such an intense desire to eat. And that is the best time to eat. And remember, when you have that intense desire to eat or that hunger, every food is fantastic. No matter what you eat. It can be without spicy, without, even half cooked or whatever cooked, you feel good by eating.
Actually, what is the best time to drink water?
Huh?
What is best time to drink water?
Yeah, I will tell you. I will come to that. Now, eating when you are hungry, this is something which everyone misses. Now, where we eat is somewhere here, somewhere here. Before the peak reaches, you already have taken.
Taken food.
Huh?
You're saying taken food before the peak.
No, before you hit this peak of hunger,
Yeah.
99.99% people, they eat now.
Okay.
They eat. That is why, Ayurveda has in the scriptures, the same question was posed, doctor, when I have to eat and what I have to eat. These are the two questions every foreigner, every patient, put forth to me. Now my question is, how I can say when you want to eat? I can say, 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. It may not be suitable to you. So you have to develop your own timings of food, how much to eat and what you have to eat. I can give you only a guideline. So regarding the timings, imagine you wake up at 4 o'clock and from 5 to 6 you do lot of physical activities, yoga and all. You may be feeling hungry by 7 or maybe 8. Or someone is waking up at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Now, he may feel hungry at 12 o'clock. This strong desire to eat may come 12 o'clock. So for him, 12 o'clock is good. For another person, 7 o'clock is good. But what will happen? At home, you have a family. So, father may wake up at 4 o'clock and he may be hungry at 7. And the mother also may wake up, but the children may wake up at 11 o'clock and they may not be hungry by 7, 8. Now, if you have the habit of sitting together and eating, now it's like a mess. When you eat at 9 o'clock, your hunger would have gone or something would have happened. So, you are not able to hit when the iron is hot. You have to hit the iron when it is hot. Okay? This is the best time. Now the second principle is snigdham asniya. Snigdham means your food should contain water and fat. Without water and fat, don't eat dry food. Wet and fat. So fat has to be an integral part of your food. As butter, ghee, oil, whatever is available to you. And maybe you drink water or take soup or take dal. Generally we do that, right? If you take chapati, you take dal. All over India, that culture is there. When you take chapati, you just don't eat dry. They take dal. Dal contains water. You are actually balancing. And the chapati, on top of chapati, wherever you go to any village in North India, they put ghee or they may put oil, right? So they are already doing this. They already do that. Then you should decide the quantity. Matravat asniyat. Matra. Matra is quantity. You should not exceed the quantity. You should not eat less. Now again you will ask how much I should eat. Correct? So my answer is, I will give you a guideline. Based on that, you decide how much you have to eat. Now imagine this is your stomach. I'll divide it 50%. Solids 50% solid. 25% liquid. And another 25% empty. Empty. Now how you will decide? It's only possible if you are focused when you are eating. Now, another principle also says that ajalpam nahasan tatmana bunjita. Don't laugh, don't talk, don't show your emotions when you are eating. That means your focus should be on what you are eating. The perception of the taste, the perception of the consistency, the perception of the heat, whether it is hot, cold. Okay? That is why in the Indian culture, eating is like a meditation time. No talk. But unfortunately in the Western culture, the on the table, it's
Watching
like
TV dinner.
yeah. No, in India also the same thing has happened, You look at the TV and, eat. Or the cricket match, looking at the cricket match and, people are eating. So, matra has to be decided by you. Take 50% solid, which consists of vegetables, grains, and the 25% can be milk products like yogurt, water, juices, or soup, and the 25% empty. If you fill this 100%, Ayurveda says that the three doshas become little shaky, abnormal. So don't do that. If you want to remain healthy, never disturb the balance of the doshas by overeating. Even if you eat little less, it is okay, but overeating is not good.
So drinking during the meal is okay? Liquid?
Yeah. See, this
Does it
25
matter? Water, milk, anything?
Yes, exactly. See, Ayurveda never say you should not eat. It gives this guideline. It can be soup, it need not be just water. It can be buttermilk, it can be juice, whatever. It's water.
But maybe
Now-
lukewarm water.
1 minute. With respect to the meal, Ayurveda says, when you are superbly hungry, don't drink. Just eat. You may be thirsty and hungry at the same time. Right? Thirsty and hungry at the same time. Now you take little bit of water, eat, and when you are eating, you take this 25% of the liquid. Because when you are hungry, if you take a lot of water, your hunger goes down. Because, I told you, in Pitta, there is water and fire. Now, when the fire, imagine, when your hunger is up, the Pitta is up in your body. When Pitta is up, you pour water to that. It is like you are pouring water to the fire. It will go down. Now, people are fashioned about drinking 2 liters, 3 liters, 4 liters of water. And they don't know when to drink it. Many times they drink just before meal, when they are hungry. When they are little hungry, it's okay, you can take. Because the superb hunger may come after like half an hour or 1 hour, by the time the water effect diminishes. But when you are superbly hungry, don't drink just water. If you drink water when you are superbly hungry, you are creating indigestion. Imagine you took water, or if you go to a restaurant, they may give you juice first. You take juice. Now what happens when you take juice? Your Agni will go down. The fire principle will go down, and whatever you have eaten is not digested properly.
What about cold drinks?
Cold drinks.
Cold. In America, they love everything cold. It's okay?
See, it's a planned industry to create patience. The industry needs clients, right? Customers. If you put all Ayurveda knowledge, many hospitals will be closed. There may not be hospitals much.
Yes.
Now, another principle is Ushnam Asniyat. Eat when the food is warm. When you said cold drinks, it exactly is opposite to this. Because your body is maintained at a temperature, right? We have a core temperature which is about 1 or 2 degrees more than the external temperature. This is the visceral temperature. Okay? Now imagine this is at 39 degrees. Imagine this is at 39 degrees centigrade. Now you are taking a Coca-Cola or some water or some soda from the fridge, which is at maybe 5 degrees, 6 degrees or 10 degrees. Now, from 10 degree to the 38 degree, 28 degree difference is there. Now, in physics, if you bring two temperature like things together, the heat transfer will be there. So your body will try to heat up from 10 degree to 38 degree, that fluid. So what is happening? Your body is spending so much of energy to heat up the fluid. That means by taking the cold, you are actually spending energy. You are not gaining energy, you are actually spending. Right? That is why the Ayurveda says, drink water or eat close to your body temperature. Not too much above, not too much below. Close. When the food is fresh, it is warm. Right? Cooked food. So, eat warm.
And
Now the last principle is when you are under extreme emotions, okay, not only laughing, if you are angry, if you are having extreme sorrow, if you are lusty, or if you have, the negative emotions, don't eat until those emotions are cooled down. Even if you are hungry, if you have emotions, if you are angry, just sit at the corner, maybe deep breathing exercise you do like a pranayama, just for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and bring your emotions down, and then you eat. When you eat, when your emotions are upset, then you are creating ama or toxins within your body. You may be taking a fantastic food, but the fantastic food need not be fantastic when it goes with emotions. Now in the scriptures, let me complete it. In the scriptures, I searched in all Ayurvedic scriptures, we can see only 2 timings of eating. One, Ekakala Ashana, means one time eating. In 24 hours, eating only one time. The second is 1 plus 1. Morning, it's called Purva Anna. Purva Ahani. Ahani means when the sun is on the top. So before that and after that. They never told any timings when you have to eat. They just said eat once in the morning and once in the evening. But before sunset. Now a lot of research has been done on circadian rhythm. You know circadian rhythm? Circadian rhythm is the name given how your biological clock works in 24 hours. What happens, what changes happens in your body in the morning? What happens in the evening? You know, when the darkness is there, your brain secretes melatonin. You know, melatonin is a hormone. That hormone is secreted in response to the darkness. Now, when we are exposed to white light or blue light, your eye senses this blue light and it will think it is daytime. So, we are actually deceiving ourselves by exposing. Imagine you go to a mall, shopping mall, which is brightly lit with blue light or white light. Now when you go, your eye receives that and your brain thinks that it is not night and the melatonin secretion starts reducing. When the melatonin starts reducing, what will happen is, your sleep pattern get disrupted. In the morning, when you around I think after 4 a.m., the body produces cortisol hormones. You know cortisol. Cortisol is to wake you up. It is the cortisol hormones, they increase your blood pressure and it will make you to wake up. So nature, imagine you are sleeping till 8 o'clock. What are you doing? You are going against the nature. If you are keeping yourself till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night, what are you doing? You are going against the nature. When you are going against the nature, it is like you are trying to swim against the flow of water. What will happen when you try to swim against the flow of water? You will exhaust. And the same thing happens now. So Ayurveda says, follow this pattern of nature. When you follow this pattern of nature, it's very easy for you. The life is not difficult. But again, when you go against, you need not one, maybe 10 doctors. Even the 10 doctors are not able to fix your problem. So this, this ancient method of eating has now resurfaced in the form of intermittent fasting, or now if you go to YouTube, you can find 16/8, eating. There are so many names given to this, and what they say is, eat 2 times, exactly what Ayurveda has told 3000 years ago. And this following these 2 meals is actually reduces your diabetes, reduces your blood pressure. If the blood pressure is high, it will reduce your obesity. See, people struggle to reduce weight, right? One of the easiest ways is to bring back to the normal circadian rhythm, so that the body is able to decide what is the best weight for you. If you want to increase or decrease the body weight, you should bring the harmony within your body. If you don't bring, in the chaos, the healing will not happen. No matter you have cancer, no matter you have migraine, no matter you have hypertension, you can follow these guidelines. Irrespective of the region, irrespective of the disease or age. Even a 20-year-old can follow this, or a 80-year-old can also follow this. Now, if you have any questions, I am happy to answer.
Usually people ask if we have 2 times meal, then when to take fruits. For example, morning time I'm eating like khichdi or something like that, and dinner or lunchtime I'm eating like rice, dal, sabji or whatever, and then when take fruits.
See, when you are undergoing the treatments, it is difficult to figure it out, okay? But now this can be followed at your home. The best is to follow at home. You have access to your kitchen, you have access to everything. Now, the important is to regulate your waking and sleeping cycle. Okay, because the sleeping and the waking cycle has a tremendous influence on your hunger. If you don't regulate this, you can observe when you fly from America to here, when you fly on day and night, of course the America and the India, day and night difference is there. When you come from such a far place, you can see the first 2 or 3 days when you have a jet lag, your desire to eat actually diminishes. You don't eat well because your body cannot digest. But only once you settle down, when your sleeping cycle becomes perfect, your Agni also becomes perfect. That is why if you have to maintain this 2 meal program, and if you have to fix your time, then you have to go to bed almost at the same time, wake up at the same time, and you try to do your activities almost like similar. If you want to do exercise, okay, start exercising at the same time almost every day. Don't change, like one day in the morning, one day in the evening, one day biking, one day yoga, one day too much of exercise, one day no exercise. Don't do that. If you are doing exercise, do it, okay, you are doing 10 minutes, do it every day at the same time, and 10 minutes over a period of 7 days or 30 days in a month, do it. Now when you regularize, your Agni also become very predictable. You will exactly know when your hunger appears, and you will exactly know when you have to eat, and also you will exactly know how much to eat. And eating very differently is also not good. From childhood, you are brought up on a food culture. Like, Europeans in the cold countries. Okay, wheat is your proper diet. Wheat based or milk products. Now stick to that. Now you may say, oh, gluten is there. What is gluten? Is something added? No. Gluten is already there. The problem is not with the gluten, but your body is not able to digest that gluten which is already there in the wheat. We can exclude gluten food. But does your problem decrease? It may decrease for a while, but if you eat something else, you may not be able to digest. That's why instead of blaming the gluten, see how you can prepare your body to digest that gluten. Okay? By regularizing sleep, wake up, exercise, quantity, emotions.
One time eating, it depends on the what kind of dosha I have. Just in case if I have a vata dosha, it's restricted. No,
Whether you have a vata dosha, pitta dosha, kapha dosha,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. See, the timings of eating is never dependent on your dosha or prakriti. See, even a vata prakriti person can take one meal. Imagine, okay, pitta prakriti. I'll give an example. Pitta prakriti people are generally, they are like having strong agni. This is by nature. Now you may ask, can he eat once? I said no. He may have to take 2 meals. But 2 meals is enough for him. That is why Ayurveda has given this option. Ekakalasana, Dvikalasana. But 3 meals is needed? No. 2 meals is enough. But he may eat more heavy food by nature. He may like to eat good quantity. Or he may eat more sweet. He may like more sweet food. To counteract the pitta. Okay. Whereas a vata person may like more oily stuff or ghee by nature. But it is only possible if you are closely observing your body. Now, if you are talking, joking, or looking at TV or typing something, you are lost. You don't understand what you are eating. See, because why? Did you ever imagine why God has kept the taste perception at your tongue? He could have given in the stomach. Why not here? Why not in the stomach? Why he has given here? Okay. When the food passes from here below, you don't understand anything, correct? Whether it is sweet, sour, you don't understand. Only here you will understand. So the food has to remain more time here, because when you eat the food, imagine you are taking sweet. When the sweet touches the tongue, your tongue will send the signals to the brain, maybe hypothalamus, and will decide, okay, so much of sweet is coming. When you keep chewing, again the signals will go continuously, and it will signal, okay, this much of sugar is coming. Now this is so much of insulin is needed, so much of this enzymes are needed. But now if you are talking, if your mind is somewhere, you don't know whether you have eaten sweet, sour, whatever. Now your body signaling system actually fails, or I don't say fail, but it may not be 100%. That is why tat mana bunjita, tat mana, your mind should be focused. Because mind cannot focus on 2 things at the same time. Not possible. If you are driving and talking over the phone, your mind is actually shuttling between the phone and the road at a fraction of a second. It's so fast. So multitasking not good when you are eating.
Когда вы кушаете, это нехорошо.
So, coffee and tea, which the world is addicted to, are these a problem in the morning, even if you're not eating? Is that considered food or?
Yeah. See, it's a plant product. Coffee and tea is not some very poisonous something. It's a plant product.
Depends on what you put in it.
Yeah, coffee and tea has a certain effect on the body because every plant has a positive, negative effect on Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Okay? Ayurveda has described that, but not explained the coffee tea because it came from outside. It was not Indian. Now, the taste wise, the tea is Kashaya Rasa. Kashaya, there are 6 tastes: Madhura, sweet; Amla, sour; Lavana, salty; Pitta, bitter; and Katu, pungent, spicy; and astringent. The last one is astringent. So tea, if you boil the tea powder with water, this is Kashaya Rasa. So tea increases the Vata, increases the dryness in the body. Now, this is like black tea. It increases Vata. So, when it is best to drink it? Okay, morning, when you wake up. Why many people feel I want to drink like black tea or tea? Because already there is kapha increase in their body. To counteract that, they take tea. But is it good? I say no, on empty stomach. But after eating, you can take it, not a problem. You have taken a good breakfast, then you take, the green tea or, the black tea. It doesn't affect your health so much. Coffee also the same. Coffee is, the taste is tikta rasa, bitter. When you take it on empty stomach, it will reduce pitta, increase vata. But we don't want to decrease the pitta anyhow with coffee or tea. That is why don't do anything which disturbs the pitta on empty stomach. So instead, you should help the pitta to develop by taking ginger tea or lemon tea or coriander, cumin or mint, something which stimulates the pitta. If you do that for the breakfast time, your Agni has come up nicely and you feel nicely hungry.
So many people, they add milk and sugar to coffee or tea.
Again, now
Same thing.
when you combine the milk, sugar, the vata increasing effect of the tea or coffee diminishes. Okay? Because the sweet and the milk, they counteract vata. So you are reducing the vata increasing effect almost by 50%. But still there will be some. But it is not good to take on empty stomach. It's always better after taking proper meal, proper food. So that I told you the solid 50% and in the 25% of liquid you can add coffee or tea.
Thank you very much for your lecture.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
attention listening.
Thank you.